Well, hello everyone. It's been a long time. A good 3 weeks, in fact. So, what's up with this? Let me go ahead and have something get going here. So, my computer decided to go on the fritz yet again. If that wasn't bad enough, this time around the solution wasn't quite so simple. I had to devote myself to getting a new motherboard and a new CPU, and I had to have my cousin install it. And even then, it was kind of frustrating for the both of us to finally get things up and running again. Fun times. And I had to wait till this month before we could even buy the parts, and then we had to wait for them to be delivered out here. Hence why it took so long. Yeah. Because the computer went kaput a little after the middle of last month, but we weren't going to have the money to get the new parts. Motherboard and CPU aren't exactly cheap after all. Till this month. That's just great. Sorry for the delay, but unfortunately I have some bad news to share. The computer pretty much had to be moved to Windows 11. And that in itself isn't the bad news. The bad news is what came as a result of it. For whatever reason, even though I backed up my stuff on my D drive, and the D drive is still working, sadly, for whatever reason, my save data got borked when we transferred it over. The data is still there, but the emulator is pretending like it doesn't exist. When I try to load it up, it gives me an error message. Everything you're looking at here, wiped. I do not have it anymore. I tried every way I could to try to salvage it somehow, hoping maybe I could hard load a save state or something, but those are gone too. Like, the save states for this game do not exist on that backup. And I feel like the world is out to get me at this point. Because we were pretty much at the end of this game, but I've lost the data. Meaning I'd have to basically completely play this game from scratch now. I also can't convert data over, so any extra material I plan on showing off, I can't do anymore either. My .hack infection, mutation, outbreak, quarantine data is also gone. Yeesh. Now, I know what some people might say is that I could just borrow save data from someone else. Or I could just show off Not Completely Released Let's Play for the remaining bits. The thing is, I don't really like the idea of doing that, believe it or not. Naka and my opinion on the series differs greatly on how we approach GU, and I'd rather not screw up my playthrough by basically trying to insert a commentary from it. I mean, I guess I could probably just mute it and talk over it if I really wanted to, but I don't know. I would have to play through it, play through Volume 1 of GU again, just so I could convert data into Volume 2 anyway. And boy, don't think I'm happy about that. I basically had so much done on this game. I had the Book of 1,000 almost completely done. I got so many of those books for later use that was in the storage. I basically had, like, so much stuff completed. Oh, I swear, man. So yeah, GU is probably going to be put on the back burner for quite some time now. I just don't think I have it in me to completely play through this game for a second time, 100%. I just don't think I could. Not in the mood I'm in, so screw it. So there's that to talk about. So a lot of stuff also ended up happening while I was away trying to get this the stuff needed for the computer to be fixed up. So what's up with that? I recently got the means to go on estrogen. I've mentioned this a few times in the past, but my testosterone levels got shot when I had COVID a couple of years ago. And I'm just now gotten to the point to where I can finally get in to see an endocrinologist to get permission to get a prescription for the stuff I need. It took way longer than it should have, and a lot of it was tied to getting my health back into shape enough to where an endo would even see me. Because if you have any type of health issues you're working through, they will not see you. Because they could probably know what I'm after, and going on this stuff when you have health issues already is a bad idea. So I had to get that worked through, and thought there was a bug or something in my room. Doesn't seem like it. So yeah, that's kind of upsetting. Now, I will say that there are other games I'm interested in that I could do for the channel. You already could tell I went back to do the various characters in HoloCure. However, knowing my luck, the save data for that is probably going to be gone as well, meaning no more of that. Because I'm certainly not going to have to make up for all of that a third time. Not until this foreseeable future. It kind of sucks too, because that's another thing I was really getting back into, but but there are other stuff I'd like to do. And one thing that I might decide to go and do, because it's been something that I've been putting on the back burner for a while, and that is the Yeast games and Trails of the Sky. The good news about most of these is that with the rare exceptions of only a couple of them, they're pretty short and I could get through them pretty fast. See how close I was to finishing that? Eesh. Man, that's depressing to look at now. Damn. It happens, though. There is that to consider, and also I plan on getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Of all things. I'm going to be doing work on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Retrospective, talking about, at present, it's going to be the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and the GX dub. Not the Japanese version, the dub. I personally think that for GX gets way too much slack as it is. Be nice to have someone who gives it a fair chance and not just immediately deter it just because the Japanese version is the original and people see the dub as a travesty without actually, watching it for the most part, and just automatically assumes it's bad. I have my own opinions about that. Um, Sorry, I was distracted by the cutscene for a moment. But yeah, I mean, I really wish I could say that I could have a lot to say about 5Ds as well, but I've never been able to get very far since I last tried to get into the dub of it. I might like the dub for GX, but the dub for 5Ds is trash. Like, we're talking, like, grade A trash. They weren't even trying to be good with that one at all. So, the next time I attempt it, it's going to have to be with subs. Which is going to be weird, since the first two Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows, the original and GX, are going to be my experience with the dub. So me going over to a sub version is going to be very all kinds of strange. It's not going to be a complete retrospective. For one thing, I refuse to tolerate Zaxel at all. I tried to watch it when it first came out, but I didn't get past the third episode. I have a 3-episode rule when it comes to shows I give a fair chance to. If by the third episode I'm not really being impressed by it, then I will just give it a pass. Essentially. And Zaxel, some people call it Zeal, some people call it Zexel, like the X is silent, but whatever. It's a terrible Yu-Gi-Oh! Show. Probably one of the few I will actually say that is so terrible I won't even give it a chance. The other ones I will, just because it seems like there's something in all the other ones that I personally feel is there's something about all of them that makes me feel like giving them a chance and see if I can be impressed or not. I did end up seeing the first episode of Arc V, the fifth one, and I liked what I saw in that first episode. It certainly seemed a huge step above Zaxel, I'll just put it that way. But I didn't watch more than that because I was going to wait until my friends were going to watch it too, but it never happened for various reasons. So basically where I'm getting at with this is I'm going to be putting a bit more work into that. I've also been focusing on writing since I haven't been able to do much else while I was waiting for the computer to be fixed, but there's not really too much for me to talk about there since a lot of it is like brainstorming and trying to think up character concepts. So, in terms of overall progress, there really isn't that much yet. I tend to be a very slow burn when it comes to getting things going in my stories, so that might take a while. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. Not too terribly much. I mean, that's pretty much the um, the announcements in terms of what's coming up, I really am sad that the projects I was currently working on have to be pretty much abandoned for now until I feel like getting into them again, but that's the way of things, unfortunately, when it comes to technical difficulties. If you lose access to your save data, what can you do about it? I mean, there's only so much you can do. Like, some people might not mind having to start over from scratch, but myself, I just don't think I'd be able to have the patience for it. Especially a game like this one, where, like, the activities are fun, but it does take a lot of time investment to get them finished. And, there are other things I'd like to get into at some point, and I don't want to have to keep redoing and remaking progress all the damn time. Another thing I thought about going back to is Legend of Zelda modern games, like Breath of the Wild, for example. Revisiting Tears of the Kingdom is also something that I would consider if it was going to be me failing at it, because it would be. Now, someone did link me to some things, some videos on YouTube that will greatly assist a secondary playthrough, since there are many experienced players that have posted hint videos. He posted like 4 different videos that were all about like a bunch of different advanced techniques, hints, and tips that can help, and I did watch them, and yeah, let me just say there's a lot to this game that I didn't even realize existed because it wasn't particularly obvious. But I know about it now, and replaying that game, I feel like it'd still be rough, but at least I have general footing now on how I would approach the problems. I will say for the record, though, I am kind of annoyed that the creator basically went out of his way to pretty much sabotage the potential of this game just because he didn't like some of the criticism. Doesn't exactly fill me with hope for future games when he's going to be a petty little bitch about that, you know what I'm saying? So, there's also Fire Emblem stuff I should talk about. After all, I most recently, as I've talked about, worked on a Fire Emblem ROM mod of sorts. And I'll probably be sharing those at some point. I have several videos recorded that have me going through my fan mod for Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, and I'm kind of excited at showing that off, even if I'm not going to be professional at all about it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's for later. Thank you guys for watching. Next time, hopefully we'll have something to show off. See you guys later.